Hello and welcome to our video titled Naruto Shippuden's Best Villains, Ranked. Naruto Shippuden is a series featuring several interesting antagonists that contribute to the show's success. In this video, we'll talk about the series' top 10 villains, based on what makes them interesting and memorable. Sasori comes in at number 10. Sasori was a former Akatsuki member and puppet master. His talent and the manner he transformed himself into a human puppet are what makes him unique. He had a traumatic past and was inspired by a desire to produce work that would last forever. Sasori's conflicts showcased his inventive and lethal puppet techniques, leaving viewers with a lasting impression. His fight with Sakura and Chio was a particular highlight, displaying his creativity and skill. We now have HIDAN at number 9 on our list. HIDAN, a member of the Akatsuki, was a dangerous foe thanks to his special skills. His religious convictions and the way he used them to support his behavior are what make him interesting. He also had a cruel personality and enjoyed murdering his rivals. HIDAN was a particularly distinctive and fascinating figure because of his immortality and the way he utilized his blood to carry out his ritualistic crimes. One of the most notable fights in the series was his encounter with Shikamaru, which demonstrated how lethal he was. OROCHIMARU is the 8th entry. OROCHIMARU has a lengthy history in the anime series. He was a former resident of Leaf Village and served as a tutor to several important characters. But his obsession with power led him down a dark path, and he eventually became one of the most feared villains in the series. What makes him interesting is his motivation and capacity to persuade others to support his goals. He was constantly one step ahead of his competitors thanks to his razor-sharp thinking. He always engaged in memorable and intense battles with the main characters. We now come to number 7, KABUTO YAKUSHI. KABUTO was a character that first appeared in the series, but it wasn't until much later that his actual nature became clear. He was a spy who infiltrated Orochimaru's group, and he later developed into one of the series' most formidable foes. His brilliance and capacity for adaptation are what makes him intriguing. He was always able to stay one step ahead of his rivals and use other people to further his own agenda. The conflicts he had with the primary characters were always memorable and intense. At position 6 is Nagato. Nagato, also known as Pain, was the Akatsuki's leader and one of the show's most fearsome foes. He is intriguing because of his horrific past and how he was exploited as a tool by others. He had a complex personality and experienced a great deal of grief. Nagato possessed extraordinarily unique abilities that allowed him to command 6 distinct pain paths, each of which had a unique talent.
The 6 paths of pain in attendance.
He and Naruto engaged in one of the most exhausting battles in the entire series, proving just how powerful he was.
This world shall know pain. Almighty push!
Sasuke Uchiha is ranked 5th. Sasuke was a character that underwent significant growth throughout the course of the series. He initially served as the series' protagonist, but his preoccupation with avenging himself turned him into one of the show's most dreaded antagonists. What makes him noteworthy is his motivation and capacity to influence others to support the accomplishment of his goals. He had a very deep and complex character, and his conflicts with Naruto were constantly tense and passionate. Fourth on the list comes Itachi Uchiha. One of the most interesting and complex characters in the series is Itachi. His true intentions weren't made clear until much later, despite the fact that he was initially introduced as a villain. What makes him fascinating is his horrific past and the sacrifices he made for his family, town, and neighborhood. His battle with Sasuke was one of the most dramatic in the entire series, and it demonstrated his strength and prowess. Itachi has one of the strongest character arcs in the series and is unquestionably one of the most memorable antagonists.
You don't ever have to forgive me. And whatever you do from here on out, know this. No matter what, I will love you always.
Obito Uchiha, the primary nemesis of the series, comes in at number 3. Character Obito was first introduced fairly early in the story, but it wasn't until much later that his full identity was made clear. He is intriguing because of his horrific past and how he was exploited as a tool by others. He had a complicated personality and experienced a great deal of grief. The battle between Obito and Naruto and the other primary characters was one of the most dramatic and intense in the entire series due to Obito's special skills.
Earth style! Mud wall!
Kaguya OTSUTSUKI is the second person on the list. Kaguya was the series' final and most dangerous adversary. She is interesting because of her past and how she was introduced as a character. Despite being a late addition to the ensemble, she had a big influence on the story. Her backstory was incredibly fascinating and revealed a ton of information about how the Naruto universe came to be. She possessed very unique skills, and the conflict she had with Sasuke and Naruto was among the most intense in the entire series. And at last, Madara Uchiha is our best villain on the list, coming in at number 1. One of the series' most potent villains, Madara's debut had a significant impact on the plot. His background and ability to use deception to further his objectives are what makes him interesting. He had an extremely sharp mind and was always one step ahead of his rivals. His battles with the main characters were usually memorable and dramatic, and his encounter with Hashirama is considered to be one of the series' most iconic scenes. And that concludes the ranking of the top villains from Naruto Shippuden. Each of these antagonists was distinct and compelling in their own right, and they all made a significant contribution to the plot. We appreciate your time and hope you liked our video. For more Naruto material, remember to like and subscribe.